Hello students, this is introduction class of Signal and System course. I will give introduction of this course and course coverage, what is the content of the syllabus and how it is divided in topic wise, what we will discuss topic wise. So this is Signal and System introduction course. But before that, I will introduce myself. I am Dr. Rajesh Kumar Dubey. I have done BTech from NIT Hamirpur, MTech and PhD from IIT Delhi. I qualified GATE in 2001 with All India rank 117. I qualified Engineering Services Examination conducted by UPSC in 2004 with All India rank 13. At this time I am affiliated with Central University of Haryana located at Mahendragarh. This is my brief introduction. Now today we have to discuss introduction of Signal and Systems course and its contents of syllabus. So this is introduction class for the Signal and System course. This Signal and System course is a core course for Indian and foreign university for electrical engineering, electronics and communication engineering, computer science and engineering, and also for instrumentation control engineering. So this is a core course. Apart from that, it is also important for competitive examination like GATE and engineering services examinations. Around 7 to 10% questions are asked in GATE examination from Signals and Systems. The Signal and System is a highly mathematical course. This course is also the pre-requirement for high-level course like digital signal processing course, digital image processing course, this speech signal processing course. So this is a basic requirement for those type of high-level courses. Also, it is useful for the study of control system, for network analysis and synthesis. For that course, this course is very much helpful and it is used. That is the application part of that. So this Signal and System course is an important course at BTech level. This is core course for all Indian and foreign universities. This course, the course content and the syllabus of the course is divided normally in 5 topics. The 5 topics we will discuss in this course. The complete coverage will be divided into 5 topics. One is time domain analysis. Time domain analysis. Time domain analysis of signals and systems. The second topic is frequency domain analysis. Frequency domain analysis. The third topic of the course is Laplace transform. Laplace transform. Fourth unit of the course is Z transform. And fifth topic of the course is sampling and reconstruction. The course content, the syllabus of the course is divided into these 5 topics. Time domain analysis, frequency domain analysis, Laplace transform, Z transform, and 5th unit, sampling and reconstruction. The first topic, time domain analysis, this topic deals with time domain behavior, time domain information of signal and system, time domain behavior, time domain information. This topic will deal with that. Normally this topic, time domain analysis, starts with the definition of signal. What is signal? With the definition of system. What is system? Classification of signal, classification of system, like that. The definition of signal, like any physical quantity which is varying with any other physical quantity. That here will define as a signal. In this course, signal definition will be limited to any varying quantity, any physical varying quantity with respect to time. In this course, independent variable will be taken time only. Any physical quantity varying that we will discuss in time domain analysis. That is definition of signal. Any physical quantity varying with respect to time, that will consider it as a signal, and we'll give the notation for that like xt, yt, like that. So this t is for independent variable, that is time only. Also, this topic will deals with classification of signal, different classes of signals like single channel signal, multi-channel signal, continuous time signal, discrete time signal, analog signal, digital signal, even signal, odd signal, energy signal, power signal, random signals, deterministic signals, all these classes, periodic signal, aperiodic signal, all these classes of signals will be dealt here in the time domain analysis. Time domain analysis, here we will deal with this continuous time signal, and also we will deal with the discrete time signal, and we will have the notation for that like xn, yn, like that. So these we will discuss, that is when your signal as a function of t or as a function of n, that we will discuss in this time domain analysis. Similarly for system, the definition of system. In this chapter, in this unit, we will discuss definition of system, like system is a transformation, like one signal xt is transformed to the yt. This transformation, a signal xn, like for discrete time signal, is transformed to the yn. This transformation. So system will define here as a transformation, which can transform one signal to the other signal. The system is a transformation. The definition. Then different classes of systems. We will deal with the different classes of system, like linear system, non-linear system, time variant system, time invariant system, stable system, unstable system, invertible system, non-invertible system, like these classes. So in this unit, we will discuss with the definition of system and different classifications of system. A system is excited by one input, and then that input is transformed to the other output. Then how the system and input are related to transform as a output. This relation we call here as a convolution. So convolution for continuous time and for discrete time, like x and y, discrete time signal, xt, yt, continuous time signal. For continuous time signal, we will call it as a convolution integral, and for discrete time signal, we will call it as a convolution sum. So convolution integral and convolution sum, they are also discussed in time domain analysis. So that time domain analysis will cover signal, signal classification, system, system classification, and relation of input and output signal. That is transformation, and that relation is given by convolution. For continuous time signal, convolution integral, and for discrete time signal, convolution sum. That is time domain analysis. That is the first topic of this course that we cover. The second topic, when we will discuss second topic is frequency domain analysis. After first topic, now the second topic. Second topic is frequency domain analysis. What we covered in first topic, that was in time domain, the same thing we have to again study in frequency domain in second unit. So in the second unit, we will discuss signal in frequency domain, that is system in frequency domain, that means frequency domain behavior. For a particular value of frequency, what is the value of signal? For a particular band of frequency, how a system is behaving. So this will be discussed in frequency domain analysis. That means signal in frequency domain, system in frequency domain, all classes of signal in frequency domain, what we have covered in the first unit, that is in time domain analysis, and again all classes of systems, what we covered in time domain analysis, that we have to cover in frequency domain analysis. The second unit is about frequency domain analysis. In the frequency domain analysis, we will have to cover 4 subunits. One, that is CT Fourier series. We will cover here as CT Fourier series, CTFS. We will cover second as a subunit, that is DT Fourier series, discrete time Fourier series. Third, CTFT, continuous time Fourier transform, and fourth is DTFT, discrete time Fourier transform. So under this second unit, frequency domain analysis, we will see four subtopics: CTFS, DTFS, CTFT, DTFT, their definition, synthesis equation, analysis equation for all these four, their properties, that is CTFS properties, DTFS properties, CTFT, DTFT properties, and how signal and systems are analyzed, that is analysis of system in the all four this frequency domain subtopics. So that will be the coverage of frequency domain analysis. The concept of filtering will be built up here in the frequency domain analysis. What the filter is? Filter is actually an LTI system, linear time invariant system, and how it is shaping the frequency, how it is stopping the frequency, passing the frequency, that is the frequency domain analysis part. Here we will do the building the concept of filtering. That is a part of second unit. Now the third unit. In third unit, that is Laplace transform. In Laplace transform, we will see this is generalized transform. We have seen for like CTFT, continuous time Fourier transform. So this continuous time Fourier transform is actually the special case of Laplace transform. In Laplace transform, we will define the transform on a plane. We will define that plane as S, as sigma plus j omega. This plane, we will define this transform on a plane. Sigma is real and this is imaginary. Like this is a plane. This is sigma and j omega. We will define on S plane. The special case of this Laplace transform, when this sigma is 0, that is this axis, the special case of here it is CTFT. The special case of Laplace transform when sigma is 0, that is defining only on j omega axis, is continuous time Fourier transform. The Laplace transform is very much useful in the study of control system. The control system and normally finding the transfer function and designing a system, control system, that is Laplace transform is very much useful there. The Laplace transform is also useful in the study of network analysis and synthesis. That course is also using this Laplace transform. This Laplace transform is useful, and when this is defined on a plane, that is called S plane, this Laplace transform is defined over S plane, then this is useful for control system analysis and also for analysis and synthesis of network and systems. So that is the third unit coverage. The fourth unit is Z transform. Like Laplace transform is a general transform on a plane, S plane, for continuous time system. Similarly, Z transform is on a plane, that is called Z plane. It is defined on a plane called Z plane. This is the real part of Z and this is imaginary part of Z. This is the Z plane where Z is R e to the power j omega, where R is the magnitude of this Z. So this is the Z transform when defining on a complex plane. This R is like, this is R, then if this R is equal to 1, then this Z transform becomes discrete time Fourier transform. That is, discrete time Fourier transform is a special case of Z transform. When Z transform, it is defined over this R equal to 1, this we will call as a unit circle. So this Z transform, when defined over a unit circle, then this is a discrete time Fourier transform. That means discrete time Fourier transform is a special case of Z transform. So that we'll see here in the Z transform. What is Z transform with? What is Z transform of a simple discrete time signal? Its transform, its inverse transform, and the application of Z transform for different classes of LTI systems, different linear time invariant discrete time systems. This Z transform is very much useful in the presentation of filters and the design of filter. In digital signal processing course, this Z transform is very much used and its applications are utilized there for the analysis of that discrete time system and in the same way in the digital filters. That is the Z transform coverage here. That is definition of Z transform, inverse Z transform, its different properties, its usefulness, its applications, in digital control system, in digital signal processing, like that. So that is the coverage of fourth unit, Z transform. And the fifth unit of the course is sampling and reconstruction. It is in two parts, that is sampling and reconstruction. That means how, if an xt signal is given, then how you will get a discrete time signal like xnt or xn from this. That is done by sampling. If you will pass through the sampler, this is called sampler. This is ideal sampler. If a continuous time signal, this is CT signal. If a CT signal is passed through a sampler, then we will be getting a DT signal. So this is the first step of conversion of analog signal to digital signal. And this T is called sampling period. T is called sampling period. Then this is the first step when you are converting analog signal to digital signal, that is the sampling. How a continuous time signal is sampled to get a discrete time signal, that is xn. It is sampled at certain sampling interval, sampling period. Then how this sampling period or this sampling frequency f1 by t, how the sampling frequency is chosen, that decided in the by help of sampling theorem. So what is sampling theorem? What is the sampling? What is sampling process? What is sampling interval? What is sampling frequency? How the sampling frequency is chosen? What the sampling theorem is? What it should be? What it should be followed? So that sampling will be done without the loss of information. What is the band limited filter? How a signal should be first make band limited? Then a sampling should be done so that no information will be lost. So these things will be here in the sampling, that is sampling part of this chapter. Then a reconstruction part. When a sample signal is there, that is when you are sampling xt to get xn, then how will recover xt from xn? That is the reconstruction part. How will you reconstruct the original signal, that is analog signal from digital signal? That means how will you recover continuous time signal from discrete time signal? That is the reconstruction part. Here it is done by the hold circuit. That is, here we will discuss zero order hold, first order hold. What is hold circuit and how hold circuit they are used for reconstruction of the signal from discrete time to continuous time signal. Here also we will see that what the aliasing is, alias and aliasing. That is, when a signal is not according to the sampling theorem, it is not sampled according to the sampling theorem, then there will be a loss of information. Then that will be discussed here. Also we will discuss here some interpolation and decimation in time. That part also we will discuss in the reconstruction part and this sampling chapter. That is sampling and reconstruction. So this is the fifth unit. This is the coverage of syllabus. Entire the signal and system course is covered into these 5 topics. And what is the coverage topic wise, that I discuss here. Also what that syllabus should be for GATE examination, that is of course GATE examination syllabus and engineering service examination syllabus are from here only. That if this much study you are completing in signal and system course, then of course you are completing the GATE and engineering service syllabus completely. And other important point, what books should be followed? Actually for this course, OpenM Wilsky and Nawab book from Pearson's Education, that is PHI, and that book is a very standard book and that is followed throughout the world. That is very important book. So here we'll, as a textbook, we'll use that book, that is Signal and System by OpenM, Wilsky and Nawab from Pearson Education, PHI. So that will be book will be as a textbook. So today we'll stop here because this is introduction class. So today I gave the introduction of Signal and System course, its coverage and also introduction of myself. We'll stop here. Thank you.